Hello Cancer, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Cancer, this is going to be your 2-week read. It's what, October 20 something? 22nd? October 22nd. I just often think about that. We just had the new moon in Libra last night. We are heading into Scorpio season tomorrow. We're like in the in-between, right? We're in the in-between. Cancer, this is going to be for your sun, your moon, rising, Venus, and North Node. Cross watcher, if you're here, welcome as well. Discern the messages, flip the roles as it applies. I'm glad you are here. Thank you for all the way that you support the channel, the like, share, subscribe, booking of personal reads, becoming channel members. I am forever grateful. So thank you all for being here and showing up as you do. So hopefully this reading will provide some insight over the next 2 weeks. We're checking into the energy to see maybe what you need to know, what you need to be aware of, what is circling your energy at this time, and where do you go from here, right? Like, I don't know, there's a feeling around, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? All right, Spirit, for Cancer for the next 2 weeks. And personal reads are open and available. That was super quick. Did I say the info for that is in the description box below? I know I said thank you, but who knows? Some of you could be doing a lot of writing, underscoring certain things, looking over documentation, highlighting certain specific things, authenticity. It's like double checking your work, making sure the facts are the facts, they remain the facts, they can't be swayed, negotiated. Like, there's a difference between opinion and fact, right? And we know this. So there's something about that. There could be, even, I'm going to say, even in today's world, right, a lot of typing besides writing, but a lot of you could be journaling as well. So confirmation shooting, Spirit, confirmation shooting star, fortune cookie, fortuitous. I don't know, maybe some of you are eating Chinese, having some fortune cookies, right? If we're going to put it in very simple text. But this confirmation shooting star, you are on the right path. I just don't know that you know how you get there. Interesting. So let's clarify. Let's just get down to the cards and see what else is happening. I just heard what a hoot. What a hoot. How funny. How ironic. Some of you might be in a little bit of disbelief about something. If you are writing something, writing out, like I'm going to say even a term paper, a blog, 222 on the clock, like whatever you're doing by words, by communication, whatever, you're stellar. Like, that's crazy to say that to you, Cancer. I don't think I've ever said anything like that before. You're stellar. You're spot on. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing it. You're doing it amazingly. For some of you, it's kind of like, well, what am I really going to get out of this? Is the work worth the effort? Like, is it worth the reward? The effort, is it worth the reward? If I could talk today, my brain is done already today. But, you know, for some of you on a personal note, I just heard I failed you and I loved you. Is this I feel like this is a personal thing, Cancer. I feel like the person saying that is you. Are we having some regrets over the past, maybe? A little bit? Some of you are hoping to heal something from before as well. This could be like rectifying wrongs for yourself as well. I don't feel like it's, I mean, some of you, I do think it's tied to somebody else, but I feel like this is like rectifying maybe where you gave up on yourself in the past and going, I'm going to do it right this time. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So I feel like your confidence is brooding. It's good. It's a good brooding. I like that feel, Cancer. I like that feel for you a lot. So I do feel like, you know, this transformative energy of Scorpio season is going to do you a lot of favors. That it is your sister sign, right? So I do think it's going to help you. I'm also hearing I don't know where the money went. So, forgotten person. Oh, Cancer. We are in the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. Fun. There's a lot, literally question marks around something. That is very intriguing to me. You look at that forgotten person, there's a question mark. Look at this fortuitous cookie. A lot of unknowns. Maybe even in your writing, you're trying to discover something specific. There's a lot of unknown. Somebody could be peppering you with questions. You could be peppering them with questions. You need to know more. You could be even inquiring, 444 on the clock now. You could be inquiring into yourself as well, asking yourself why you've done the things that you've done in the past, Cancer, right? A lot of self-reflection, self-evaluation. What else for Cancer over the next 2 weeks, Spirit? What else for Cancer? Wisdom after a period. There we go. You're Cancer, if I could talk, oh my God, maybe you're having a hard time articulating. Maybe some of you are writing letters because it's hard to say what you need to say, kind of feel. Apple and basement. After a period of gaining some insight around some maybe the murkier parts of yourself, Ascension. Watch for water and electrical issues, Cancer, also. Okay, just a heads up. And like, again, we are in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, so things could break down, right? So just kind of be aware of that. Okay, what else for Cancer, Spirit? What else for Cancer? Pet. Some of you could have strays popping up at your house. Animals could be of great significance. Ascending. Again, if you've got certain animals that seem to repeat a theme for you, I talked about the symbology, I think, for was it Scorpio the other day, or the collective? I forget. It's confirmation that you are heading in the right direction, okay? What else for Cancer? Finances. I said, where did the money go? Hope. Some of you could be waiting on a payout, being super idealistic about how that comes to form. Work, success. Some of you may be needing to get a new job, wanting a job. It's almost like you've kind of gone within, Cancer, and now it's like back to career. Okay, I'm going to put it that way. It's like back to career. Like maybe some of you were going to school, maybe some of you were taking courses, some of you maybe just had to take a time off from work to take care of other things for whatever reason it might have been. It might have been to take care of somebody. Some of you might have had sick pets as well. Whatever this is, but it's like it's time to get back to work, and you're looking maybe at finances, you're looking at success. How do these two things come together? How do I, manage both sides of the coin? All the things. So there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot. You may feel like there's a lot of pressure in your life right now, and you're trying to evaluate just that. But I do feel like this is somewhat career focused in a way of like what comes next for me. Spirit, the world is your oyster, Cancer. 5 of Swords, 2 of Cups. Ew. Some of you could have, I don't want to say walked away from something, 7 of Cups. But, the questions, the question marks, right, along with the 7 of Cups, that's a lot of confusion. The 8 of Wands, messages of confusion, miscommunication, deadlines being missed, expectations not being clear, a lot around. It's almost like somebody was trying to, Spirit's saying sidestep wisdom in something here. How does it come together? It doesn't have to be in a romantic partnership, but I do feel like something about this kind of left you feeling a little ugh about it. Still, again, more questions than answers kind of feel. And it's like maybe even as you figure certain things out, you have even more questions than you did before. It's like every answer leads to another question kind of thing. And that's okay. If you need to go down the rabbit hole to understand something, then do just that, right? Do what you need to do. So what else on this 5 of Swords and 2 of Cups? I do feel like someone's, I'm saying, reaching out to you. Hammer comes out sideways. Girl with a snake, charmed or used, enabled, and boundaries. I think you're waiting for someone or something to show up more effectively. There needs to be a change in some kind of coming together around whatever this might be for you. And I just feel you kind of separating yourself from other people at this time, or you've been in that state for some time, or you've had to separate, whether physically, emotionally, financially, whatever it is. It's like I have to take this time out for myself. One side of this is willing to work on it, the other side maybe not so much. It's kind of an influx, or you could go back and forth on one or the other. I keep seeing the 2 of Pentacles in my mind. It's like to this, to that, to this, to give to that. It goes back and forth a lot. So the Sun with the pets and the 7 of Cups. You are going to get clarity. You're going to get your confirmation for sure. What is this pets about for Cancer? The Fool. And as I say that, the Fool, what's he got with him? A donkey. So you might have your trusted animal species with you in some way. The 6 of Cups Some of you may have had to move and left a pet behind as well, and you could be reuniting with that pet here in the near future. Some of you could be giving a household pet to your children or somebody else. It's like one is coming, one is going is what I'm hearing. Also, Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. The Six of Cups in flux though, because it's sideways. But this is, it's like it does start a new course or a new journey for you. It does alleviate freedom. If somebody had a pet pass away, it was a dog, let's say you were home all the time with the dog, there could be, I mean, obviously you don't want something to happen to your pets, but it's also like, gee, I don't have that responsibility anymore. I can kind of go do what I want to do. This also feels like you being torn between something you once loved or once wanted to do versus what you are still trying to decide on what you want to do. So again, if this is a job, maybe you worked in the medical field for years and you're like, I need to change, but I really loved my patients. How do I get both, right? You know, it's like that kind of feel. Like, what do I do to have both? The best of both worlds. Poker face. It is time to take some risk here, Cancer. And it may be stepping outside of what you've done for a really long time. Some of your careers could be changing significantly. Weighing your options, Two of Pentacles, right? Again, even though it's not here on the board. But also, you may not be, it's almost like there is something that you want to do. Needing to have the courage to do it, but kind of also, like, is this my ace in the hole? If I take this direction, if I do this thing, is that my ace? Is that where I'm going to go? Is that really going to be successful for me in some avenue? And it's also requiring you to break away from people who are codependent on your energy, your time, your space, your resources. Because I do feel like when certain aspects of life are coming up, they are creating blockages, or you can just feel blocked around something as well. So just a heads up on that. When it comes to finances for Cancer, please. I've gotten every two I just about, but the Two of Pentacles, but there comes the Two of Swords. How do I mix those two things? The Knight of Cups, the Six of Pentacles. What else on this finances? I do think there's another option here for you, Cancer, that you just don't yet see. And I do think that opportunity, there's the Star again, Shooting Star and the Star card, that is coming in maybe even unexpectedly. It's like, where did this come from? Again, more questions than answers. Like, where did this come from? Wow, that could change that. But what if I have to do this? There's just a lot around that energy that's like, but what if, or this kind of feel. I think it makes you a little uncomfortable, to be honest with you. It's like, I don't know about all this. Like, is this the way this is going to work? This Two of Swords, Spirit, what is that about? I told you, Scorpio season, there's Phoenix. You're going to change your mind again. Spirit says again. About what it is you are doing. Because you do have so many options. And you could, one day I want to be a doctor. The next day I want to be a lawyer. The next day I want to be married. The next day I want to be single. I think you are having a hard time right now making up your mind, and Libra season could have very much been about you weighing the scales out, right? Checks and balances. How does this play out fairly for me, for everybody involved? But you are going to have Spirit saying a clear conscience about what it is that you need to do, and you're not going to let little things that I think you used to let tempt you be so temptuous for you. For some of you, this could be an old job. They may call you up and go, hey, when you did that thing, that was great. We would love to have you back. And you're just like, oh, I couldn't. That's a guaranteed paycheck, right? ASAP. Stat. But then you're like, but I don't know if I really want to do that, though. Is that what I want to do? Because I'm really not sure. So you are going to spend some time weighing some things that you don't yet see coming as options, an opportunity. Chaser, fear of abandonment. Codependencies are coming out heavy here. Why? For some of you, if you have changed professions or even relationships, like if you could go back over your life and go, I've averagely stayed at this job for 5 years, or a job for 5 years. I've averagely been in a relationship for 3 years. What has been the thing that has kept you non-committal to the things you've done? Why do you go back to, it's almost like you're turning your back to a part of yourself, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but food for thought here, right? It's like you go into it and then you change your mind. You go into it, you change your mind. Where is that coming from? Why is there like, I don't even think you've ever intended it to be a cap on a time frame or something you're doing, but it seems to be that way. And if you went back and you look, you would see a pattern of that certain thing, or maybe just high and low points on certain aspects. Maybe even if you've been in a job for 20 years, like where your productivity increased, where your productivity dropped, where it increased, where it dropped. There is a pattern here to be seen. And it's almost like doing just enough to get by sometimes, and then going, I really don't like this anymore. Where it does scream like non-committal energy to me. Where is that non-commitment coming from for you? And that is something I think in Scorpio season, that's going to be part of your transformation, is to understand why it changes so much, why it shifts so much. Why can't I just stick with this thing or stay in that place? Or, and I'm not saying don't embrace new things, because we do. If we get uncomfortable, like we get comfortable, we need to get uncomfortable. But what is it that kicks in that stirring? Is it a healthy thing, or is it the risk and thrill of what comes next? Is it a constant high, the need for the constant high of change? Which clearly you're not a fixed sign, because if it was a fixed sign, they'd have their heels dug 6 feet into the ground going, I'm not moving, right? But for you, it almost kind of gives me the opposite vibe of, I need to change, I need to change, I need to change, I need to change. That tends to be us running from something, whether it's emotional, physical, spiritually. We're running before, it's like, I'm going to leave this before it leaves me. Where is that coming from? So that's your reflection point, Spirit said, in the month of October. Pets again. Air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be dealing with one of those. Pets. Animals are going to have a great significance to you over the next 2 weeks. Again, some of you could be getting a stray cat. Some of you could be dealing, I just told Scorpio about the raccoons. And a raccoon show up here. I just got the raccoon prints. Like, you could be seeing paw prints around your house. A neighbor's dog could have gotten loose. If you're asking yourself if now is the right time to adopt a pet, I would say no, because you're in the middle of a transition. I don't think your circumstances are going to stay the same. Some of you may want to end up traveling or not being home as often. Like I said, you know, if you had a dog or something pass, now you feel like you've got that freedom. You may want to rethink those choices, or at least give it some more time, okay? Anything else? Distance. I told you're going to be, it's like you distance yourself from some things. Communication is going to be important around this. Guardian, you are protected. You do have somebody on the other side looking over you, but they're also drawing emphasis on, why do you distance yourself from the things that you get connected to? Very, very important introspection period for you, Cancer. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found this helpful, that it provided insight to you. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal reads are open and available. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care of yourselves. I'm sending you love, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.